Hello, it's Appa. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Welcome to our Monday night rewatch of episode 5 of season 3 of The Wheel of Time. How are we over the hump?
I
Over
don't know.
halfway. But I'm Crystal. That's Appa with his human handler, Tom.
It's Baby Appa.
Baby Appa. Arosa!
Yeah, Arosa, what's up, friend? He weighs 2 pounds. He's a weighted Baby Appa.
And Glenn. Hello, Glenn. Thank you for always having our, please don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. We are awful at asking for that.
I am awful at promoting ourselves. I'm the worst at it.
Mm-hmm. That's why we have a Glenn.
That is why we have a Glenn. That is absolutely accurate. So let's see. What is going on today? We're going to be hanging out with some awesome people, but also today is a special day for a large, I don't want to say a large, but a good portion of our community, I would say identify as LGBTQIA and or plus. Mm-hmm. And today is the Trans Day of Visibility. So if you haven't already, you can go over to the Dragonmount socials and you can see our post that we made for it. And as always, this is, a safe and welcoming space for everybody. So keep that in mind. Trans people face a lot of hardships, especially right now. And I'm going to post a link in, some text in chats. They are for the Trevor Project, which is a great resource for trans folks. So if you have anyone in your life that ever needs to reach out or ask questions or needs help with things, that is a good resource for that. Yeah,
super important.
It is. And now we're going to get into Wheel of Time things, and we have a dynamic duo of the twisted trio that makes up the tasty taint that is the Black Tower podcast, where I'm very proud of this line, by the way. I had to message them last week when I wrote it in the description of the video. I was like, I think I might have came up with your guys' new tagline, and it was where the taint meets talent. Come on,
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see which duo of the trio is waiting backstage for us.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Yay!
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there.
Oh.
Hi, friends. a little. You're going sailing today? How apropos!
I figure. It was appropriate given some of the things we got in tonight's episode.
Oh wait, hold on. Do you mean this?
Never let go, Jack. Never let go.
Never let go, Avienda. Avienda. I couldn't even imagine Avienda in an ocean that deep. By the way, phenomenal acting.
Too calm.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Yeah, definitely. Oh God, I was wondering how I was going to slip that in, and that prevented.
And there it was.
Perfect. You got it in early.
It was just perfect timing. I wasn't sure. So anyway, hi friends.
Hello. We're so happy to be here. It is always awesome to be here with Dragonmount, because Dragonmount is some of the coolest people. I don't know if I told this story publicly or not, but the first time I went to JordanCon, Andrew was like, "Hey, Josh, check it out. There's Tom from Dragon." I was like, "Whoa, the Tom?"
I don't believe you.
The Dragonmount? He was like, "Yeah, you want to go say hi to him?" And I was like,
"No, too scared."
"That's Tom from Dragonmount. Are you kidding? I am but a worm. I am but a rope on the Goodyear blimp." Oh, I was starstruck. Tom, I love you, and I'm glad
I love you,
your friend. And Crystal, you are also one I am glad to call friend. Thank you so much for inviting us here today.
Love you guys.
Dave.
And I'm not nearly as exciting as that, but I'm super
Yes, you
happy
are.
to be here too.
Yes, you are. Hey, listen, you're the only one. You're the only one here who has sat on my couch.
That's
Ooh.
true.
It's very true. So
she says she's not nearly as exciting because she is more exciting.
that's true. Absolutely right. See, she pulled a Maureen on us, and I didn't even notice. That's because she,
wisdom.
Caught me in my own truth. What can I
Oh wait, speaking of pulling a Maureen, did you guys see the clip that Amazon shared for season 3?
No, but we do have people that we're competing with in the Wheel of Time Fantasy League, and we would love to get a leg up on the competition. So
okay.
if you've got some insider info, my bookie, the rest of my team would love to know.
Let's check it out.
You've been hiding from me. You're afraid of me now.
That
What did you
face.
see in Ruidian?
What do you want?
You're supposed to keep Egwene away from him.
I am. She won't budge if forced.
I worry that you're trying to stay useful to me so that I don't dispose of you. I'm sending a little surprise. Let him handle it. I know that's difficult for you.
I didn't notice that before, but wait, hold on a second. She gives like a little eye roll, like, oh.
Yeah,
You saw that? She was like, oh. That's right there at the end. I didn't notice that before.
she's like,
I mean, Lanfear is nothing if not a little bit dramatic. So
She's
fair.
just like, oh, I just survived one of the futures. That's amazing.
oh, shit.
And I guess Maureen's probably a little confident because she knows what's going to happen.
there is a real sense of comfort you get when you know what's going to happen in the next chapter.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fair. So hold on. Arosa said, what does Maureen say? Actually, let's see.
You're afraid of me now. What did you see in Ruidian?
What do you want?
You're supposed to keep Egwene
Well, she says, what do you want there?
away from him.
I am. She won't budge
She's-
if forced.
And then she says she won't budge if forced in keeping keeping Egwene away from Rand. So I think
Because Moraine knows how these two rivers
But you're
kids
trying to stay
Exactly.
useful to
Yeah,
me
they're
so that I
separate.
don't dispose of you. I'm sending a little surprise.
yeah, and then
Let
that's
him
all she
handle it.
says.
I know that's difficult for you.
And
Look, and then you're not wrong about the eye roll here.
yeah, definitely
Bitch.
an eye roll, 100%. She was like, bitch, whatever, bitch, shit.
And then I was
One.
like, yeah, come at me. And I
Yeah.
said that to her. Well, no, I mean, I didn't like say it, but I was like,
Thinking it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? They didn't have subtitles in the clip. That's funny. I always use subtitles. I can't hear this if I don't have my subtitles on. That's why I always talk about that.
it's a neurospicy thing because I also watch everything with subtitles on it. Everything.
I've been learning so much about myself, like how much of my personality is due to my neurospiciness over the last couple of years. I wouldn't be surprised if that is as well. Anyway,
Learning journey, as it were.
where are your standings currently in the fantasy league? It's true. Erin does hate watching things with subtitles, which is why I usually watch things. I have to watch things again. Like when her and I watch things, I either watch them, I pre-watch them with subtitles on, or watch them again afterwards with subtitles.
We have not started yet. We were playing the preview for next week's episode that Amazon just released. So you are not late. We have not started yet.
Yes. And it's basically Lanfear talking to Maureen and telling her, that she's not doing a good enough job keeping Egwene away from Rand. And then Lanfear warning Moiraine that she's sending something after Rand to keep him on his toes and to, not help him out.
Just a little.
A wee bit.
Do you guys have any idea of what that might be?
The surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead, Reese. You go first.
I know it's not, but I really wish it was a drag car.
Thank you for that.
I don't know if I should say this, but in the writers' room, we always joke about the drag car being like a car full of drag queens. So when the drag queen arrives, it's just like beep beep, motherfuckers.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that stuff. That would be amazing. And I am now having visually picturing a drag Drakkar in my head, and that is both fantastic and terrifying at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Where's our artists at?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, please! Seriously. Someone draw us a drag car.
It needs to be like a big obnoxious car, like a Cadillac or something, like a convertible Cadillac, like something from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Ooh,
no.
Six drag queens in there.
It needs to be specifically. All right, I have two. I'll give our artists out there two options. It needs to be either the car that they drive in Tu Wong Fu and Tu Wong Fu. Thank you for Julie Newmar. Either that car or Cat Williams' Pimp Mobile from next Friday. Those are the two options. I didn't make these rules, but those are the rules.
Love it.
Beep, beep, yeah. Okay, so where are y'all? Where is Black Tower right now in the fantasy league? How are you guys doing?
I think we're holding down the middle right now.
Middle of the field.
Yeah.
We're in 4th place out of 16.
Okay. Hey, listen, that's pretty good.
We call it a lot of room for potential,
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. Maxim scored us some pretty great points in this episode last week. Really, it kept us in the running is what it did. It didn't, we didn't lose position. But I did, Reese, you and I need to talk to the commissioner because I watched it again and I'm pretty sure we got more than 5 kills. I'm just saying.
I wanted to double check that myself. Plus, I think there was a little more, romanticism happening. There's,
He was flirting when he said, "You turned the bond on 5 arrows ago." That was flirty. That was pretty damn flirty.
It was. And hey, I love that dynamic that he's making jokes when they're literally pincushioned with arrows.
Yep.
Alana's dying and she's laughing too. That's such a great dynamic that they have.
I love the behind the scenes stuff on their Instagrams.
Oh yes.
So good.
That's
one of the funnest sets to be on, right? That's gotta be one of the best.
Okay, but specifically, and I got to call back to when we interviewed Priyanka and Taylor pre season 2. Specifically, Priyanka and Taylor have their relationship off camera is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He is her we asked because Alana was always eating in season 2. Every scene we saw her, she was like Brad Pitt in freaking Ocean's 11. She was eating in every scene. Tony Stark in Avengers. Yeah. Does he provide? Is he your snack warder? Off camera as well. And she said yes. He always has snacks for me. And he was like, yes, I always carry something for her. And then we realized that they were in the same room when they were giving these interviews. And so if you go back and watch the interviews, they're in the same room. The lighting is exactly the same. And then if you go and look at their at the time when they were posting Instagram photos, it was from when they were doing those interviews. They're in the exact same clothes that they were wearing in the same room, which is, man, I got to go back and watch the interview. But Taylor says something funny when someone, like when I think it was Kathy that was talking to him, asked him a question about Priyanka. And, he says that, like, how are you guys get along or something? Like, it was like a general question. And, he gushed over like love for her. But when he started speaking, he went like this for a second. Like, he just, it was really funny. But that's what this clip is from that I always play.
And relax.
You started looking off camera though, right? Like he did punch. That's how he was doing it. He started that. He was like, Priyanka was sitting just off camera right there. It was fantastic.
There's a book I believe that was published a while back that is called "How to Take Care of Your Aes Sedai and Make Sure She Doesn't Get the Grumpies." And chapter 1 is always have snacks.
Always carry snacks. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little known other use for fan cloth is that it keeps snacks fresher longer. So all the water cloaks have little snack pockets in them.
Snack pockets, yeah.
Do you know what's fun about that is I'm currently working on a Gleeman's Cloak cosplay.
Ooh.
And
that's exciting.
This is way out of my league because I'm working on hidden pockets. Because what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to be like, aha, let me bring out a ball out of nowhere and start juggling the ball. Ooh. And then make it disappear into the cloak again. And then I don't know. I want to, it's like, it's
so
ambitious.
Not only
it's ambitious.
You're trying to sew hidden pockets into the cloak that you're making, but you also have to learn close-up magic.
Yes. I
feel like, how old are you? if you told people, like, if you took it completely out of context, you're like, so I'm 38-year-old man, learning close-up magic,
sir.
Learning to sew.
How very sweet of you. Look, are you trying to flatter me, sir? Because it's working.
I don't want to. I know how old you are for real, but I didn't want to.
I am 44. I just had a birthday.
Okay.
Quattro, baby.
You are I think you're the elder of our stream currently.
Could be.
I might be the baby. I don't know. How old are you, Reese?
36.
Okay, you're the baby.
No. Yeah, you beat.
I turned 30. I turned 39 next in 7 days. Oh well, no, 8 days. It's the 31st. Yeah.
Well,
you're so young, Tom.
I know.
So young.
You've got that youthful glow.
Mm-hmm.
I am starting to get. You can see. I think you can make it out now. I'm starting to get my grays. It makes me so happy. I can't wait. I can't wait till I get full Santa Odin beard. That's what I want.
Yeah, I've got some grays coming in too, but you can't really tell. And in the right lighting, the red in my beard is really coming out.
Yep.
But it's going to quickly come back over the white.
No.
Gnomen Garden is 10,000 years old. I didn't know if you know this.
It's an ancient gnome.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of our beards, Josh, actually, I was taking a shower a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I was thinking about you.
Oh.
I'm flattery, sir.
I am legit not joking. I'm not joking. So I was like, oh, next time I see Josh and Andrew, I got to give you guys a present, and it's this thing that a friend of mine bought me this past year for Christmas. It's meant to be I think like a scalp massager. It's like a little hand, like a thing that's like this big. It's a circle, and it has these silicone fingers on it, like little nibs that are pointy, and it's meant to be a scalp massager, like you rub it on your head. I use it for my beard in the shower to put shampoo and conditioner in my beard, and it is fantastic. It's the best thing that's ever happened. And I was like, I want to buy these for people with beards. And
so many different places. I'm glad it was beard shampoo.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping it above board today. Come on, I don't want to get demonetized and taken off YouTube right away. After we're done with the Wheel of Time stuff, after we get our exclusives and we have all our shit that we're doing and reviews, then I'll start being much stronger on my window.
Only dragon mounts.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, God. All right, so what are we doing here? We're watching episode 5. What is episode 5? I forgot. What's the title of episode 5?
Tel'aran'rhiod.
Tel'aran'rhiod, right? It's not the shadow. That's next week.
Nope.
Okay. The episode is listed on IMDb. I think we could say the name of next week's episode. No. But yeah, because they have it on IMDb, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, they have them all now. Oh no, that's season 1. Hold on, let me see which ones they have before I say something and get in trouble. No, yeah, they do have all of the episodes listed now. So next week's episode is The Shadow in the Night, then it's Golden Eyes, and then He Who Comes with the Dawn. So we're going to You're Not Wrong. That is 100% true. Oh man, sorry. I just saw this. I love this. I kind of want to make a cosplay now. Just all beard care though. I have different balms and oils and brushes, and then I just walk around at conventions and ask people with beards if they want me to wisdom their beard.
Do like beard pedicure kind of a things, like sit down, my friend. Here,
yes, please.
Let me care for your beard.
Sit a while and listen. For my friends who play Diablo.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to get our watch party ready now, and then we'll give everybody a couple of minutes to get that set up. Let's see. Where is my link for my watch party? I have to generate it now, or else it'll time out on us when we're watching.
Oh, snap.
Oh, where's the option to only let me control things? You guys are naughty, and I want to make sure.
Come on. You can trust us.
No.
What?
There we go. I have control. Only me. There we go. And we'll start that. And while that's starting up, I will put on, where's my clock? I have my timer so that you can follow along. If you don't want to join the watch party or can't join the watch party, you can follow along with the timer. You got the timer right there. You can click on that. I mean, not click on it, just watch it. I'll align it to the time of the show as we watch. All right, did you make your link yet?
Is the boss not here, Tom? The boss isn't here.
He is. Hold on. Except I told you yesterday when we were recording. So there's his bed. I put a treat in it to try to get him to go into it, and he didn't. He's instead right there. He's behind the bed. I put a little set of stairs on the other side of the bed, on the other side of my desk, so that he can climb up the stairs to get to his bed. And now he's sleeping on the fucking stairs that I put there. Yeah. Because of course he is.
Luna does what once.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. On the upside, he's doing. He recently had he's going to get his blood work and his checkup, but he's doing very well. He gained a little bit of weight actually.
Wow.
Which is good because he's 19 years old this year.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes, his birthday is in the beginning of February. We Aaron and I decided, because we didn't know when it was and we needed to pick a day, and we made it my dad's birthday because we thought it would annoy him. for no other reason.
Do you know, as a kid, we used to go to someone's house and they had a dog named Josh, and so it was always Josh and Josh dog. And I got really upset. Dog. I want to say I was like 7. So it was like really little, but they'd be like, well, it's Josh and then Josh dog. And I'd be like, ugh. But I liked Josh dog. I just didn't like it when people called me Josh dog.
I was going to say, you didn't realize you were Josh dog. Oh.
Now I'm dog.
I feel like that would be traumatizing for a little one.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that comedy.
I guess my nickname as a child from my grandmother was Booger. So
yeah, it's kind.
Yeah. I'm not sure where or why that came about, but there you have it. Why doesn't this want to start normally? All right, whatever. I'm just gonna share this link, and hopefully it is the right one. So I'm putting the link in the comments now, so you guys can click on the link to join the watch party if you want. and I'm going to put the link in the private chat for our friends who are in the call with us so that they can click on it and not have to try to go other places to click on it.
Make with the clicky.
Yeah, we'll let that load up for a second. What else is going on? Ooh, right. There was an article that I saw a new name from our favorite website that I like to argue with, Screen Rant. Yes.
Look,
listen, they don't know that we have a
what's his name? Who's the guy? What's his name?
His first name was Christopher. He has 3 names. It's 3 names. Christopher something. I forgot what it is. But
me and Tom are beefing though.
Yeah, we are beefing. He's unaware of the beef that we have, but we're beefing.
Until he shows up in chat one day, you don't know. Maybe he's got his name flagged. He sees every time you.
That would be fantastic if he did that. Where is it? There it is. So he wrote, there's a new name though. This is not that guy. This is a new guy. This is George Papadopoulos, which I love.
Which is also a great name.
A fantastic name. This is basically just talking about Bode and what's his other sister's? Alwyn, right? Matt's other sister.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because in this episode we find out Bode and Alwyn can channel. Those of us who've read the books know that, which is a great time to put up my banner of "Don't spoil anything past Fires of Heaven, please."
Yes.
Though this guy cites something from the books that I liked, where it was like in the books they talk about her potential being equal to almost to Egwene's, which is a big thing for like the light side to have here. Like another channeler that's of that strength is really good. And him calling attention to that and using the quote from the book, which is also from a later book in the series that is past this. Past what we're watching on the show and past book. It's actually, I think it might be in book 5. It's either 5 or 6. But this quote, which isn't really that big of a spoiler, is that, yes, Bode is pretty strong. So I like that this guy is using information from further along in the series than just the first couple of books, which you won't get just off a basic Google search. So I feel better about George Papadopoulos.
Mr. Papadopoulos.
All right. I think that's a good amount of time for stalling. Let's I will align the clock and the show and press play on them at the same time. So here we go. Let's give everyone a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and play. Yay. So if you're watching on the watch party, it should be playing now. I definitely, like I said before, suggest watching with subtitles.
Are you fixing your timer?
What's up?
Are you fixing your timer? It's gone. When you took away Luna, it left.
Oh, that's weird.
What?
It's currently running on my on the computer, and it is at the right time. So there it is. That was weird. So the time is aligned correctly, so we're good.
Huh. I'm getting weird. Okay. Well,
if it gives you any issues when trying to go into the watch party, just refresh the page. Like if it asks you to sign in or anything like that, if you refresh the page and go back to the link, it should skip you to where we are in the watch party.
Tom, I'm going to need you to work on an alternate Luna cam for when Luna refuses to be in Luna's spot.
So if I can get a good shot of him. Yeah, it's not bad. There you go. Oops. All right, so I've seen a lot of people be upset over something that I think they don't really care about, which is the combining of these Sangreal. What do you guys think of? Do you remember, first of all, and in chat, go ahead and shout it out when you know it. Well, what Sakarnan was in the series?
Yeah.
So, do you guys mind the combination of that here? So that's what Sakarnan is a spoiler from further along than Fires of Heaven, so we won't go too crunchy into where it comes from. But I don't think it's the only spoiler that we could say is that it is a sangreal, but it's for men in the books.
Mhm.
Yes. I don't mind it. Like I didn't hate it. Like I didn't go, oh my God, what are you guys doing? Oh, this is so stupid. But I did go, huh, that was a choice. And my thinking is they had to do Kalendor, right? Because Kalendor is so pivotal to the plot.
Yeah.
And
visually it's also like, great, you know, like a crystal sword.
I felt like having Kalendor and Sakarnan replace the access keys for the Choden Call. I feel like that makes sense in a situation where you have to have such an edited format, you know, because you start bringing in too many of these named sangreal, and I can see how that can possibly start to get lost in the flow of the story. So it made sense. It's sixes to me.
Yeah. The my thought is, and this is from my dyslexia for sure, is like, and I guess it would also help with people with auditory disorders, like Nomengarden was saying before. Like reading the words Angriel and Sangriel and knowing the difference between them is so much easier than hearing someone say Sangreal and Angriel.
Well, especially with accents too.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, when in the book, when someone says Angriel, you know, like, oh, that's a cool object. It makes someone stronger. But if you see Sangreal, then you're like, oh shit, that's a really powerful one. But you know, not a huge combining, like the levels, I think isn't a big deal, but the overall combining of like different ones, I don't know. I liked the Choden. I liked the idea of the Choden Call, like how specifically because it was like so many channelers had to die to make it. You know, so many died making it. It was like a big thing.
I love Avienda's look, on her face right here. When then when they're like, cannot.
Yeah, hold on. I got a close up of her face in that spot, in that part.
Hey, Tom, it sounds like Gnome and Glenn at least are having issues with the...
Oh, with the teleport?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I will then, hold on a second. I will
So they were able to start it on their own, but it didn't sync automatically.
Okay.
Yeah, mine
was
either, so I just got it as close as I could.
That's sad. All right, I will pause the teleparty for right now. So if you are watching the teleparty, I have currently stopped it, but I paused the clock as well. So I'll create a new teleparty, and then that way we hopefully it'll work. So let's do that real quick. I will close that and then reopen it. Then we go back to the Wheel of Time. At the very least, I will say about the teleparty, even though it has issues, like very small issues sometimes, is that it's very easy to use and start and restart. Whereas like the watch parties within the platforms themselves are often really, really bad. All right. And I made a new teleparty. So the old link won't work. I will share the new link in a second once it's done. There it is. Here's the new link, and when you join, you should see them first entering Cold Rock's Hold. It's on pause right now. And here's the link in our private chat, so you can click on it.
Spiggity spam.
And the time is currently, the timer that I have on my screen is currently at the right time, at the correct paused time in the teleparty.
Oh, look at that. I got it right there.
Yay!
Okay.
You should be able to hit play, right? And it should play automatically for everybody.
Yeah, it'll play for you guys. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see everyone joining now. Okay, everyone's joining the teleparty now. Woohoo! Okay. So I will press play in the teleparty and on our clock again. Okay, so they are entering Cold Rock's Hold for the first time there. But yeah, now let's look at this. The picture though that we were talking about, like, yeah, that's the face, by the way.
She's like,
are you serious? Yeah.
Yeah, this is this is a very good face. And
the side eye there.
oh yeah, that is there's a lot of bombastic side eye in this show, and that's another great one. I love Cold Rock's Hold though. I love this whole, like, we don't really know what Cold Rock's Hold looks like other than the description of like the buildings, which I think they got right. But the idea of them having like this garden in it and this whole thing is so freaking cool.
I had so much fun trying to find all the Aiel hidden as they were entering Cold Rock's Hold. There's another one. Another one.
I love that the world has come to know the joy of Aiel memes that we have known for years. You know, it's like technically there are 300 ninjas in this picture, and for years we've been like, technically there are 300 Aiel in this picture, and now the rest of the world knows as well.
They know, yeah.
Yep.
There are 3 Aiel in this picture actually. Other than not counting these guys down here, there are 4 Aiel in this picture. 2 of them are very visible with being up here, and one over here. But there's one over here.
He's behind our
he's behind our heads. I can change that so that we are.
Oh, it didn't work. Sorry, I tried to.
Nah, it doesn't matter. But we can still see it. The other one is, I didn't even see him the first time. Where is he?
I think you have to go to the next.
Oh yeah, right. It's on the next time we're down there, right? No. No, maybe I don't have it.
Also, shout out.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
That was a well hidden.
Yeah. Shout out to
the gravel in Daddy Ruark's voice, because
oh god, yeah.
Here until the Black Chiefs gather at Al Khair Dial, and it's just like, oh, Daddy.
He's fucking fantastic.
Love him,
and he's huge. He's actually 6'6". The actor who plays him.
He did like a short little Instagram story right before the episode aired, and I was like, okay, I'm so excited.
So what do you think? Hold on. What do you think Maureen's letter smells like? Wrong answers only.
Oh.
Barring the obvious jokes.
Okay.
Okay, wrong.
Fins.
Roses.
Roses.
Oh, God.
I was gonna say her nephew's sandwiches.
Okay.
Oh,
that I feel like that's lewd too. I feel like if you depending on how dirty your brain is,
butter. It smells like butter.
That's pretty lewd.
Butter.
You're not.
We also I got to point out this fantastic door.
Oh yeah, I'm still waiting on your album or your ranking of doors.
I'll put one together. I'll definitely put one together. But yeah, look at this door.
Also, Elida's entrance when she like her hands
super creepy. Yes,
like a villain in a horror movie, like a monster.
Yes, she does all the fingers individually too. Such a creeper. The Reese, how are you liking Shoray as Elida?
Oh, I think she's great. She's just bringing this dynamic that I didn't know I needed for Elida. Like she has this, she's always been like an imposing character, but now she's like authoritative to the point where it's like I feel like things in the book make more sense.
Okay. Like how she ended up where she was prior to like the black, prior to too many people helping her along. Like, she got pretty far on her own before she became a useful idiot, I think is a great way to describe her.
Butter.
Shorey is oh god, butter and spite. That's fair. Shorey is for sure freaking making me like Elida when Elida was 100% one of those characters that I just freaking hated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't really fit with this version of her, but I do kind of miss the knitting, as she was always sitting there.
She was always sitting there knitting. Yeah, that's true.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Aes Sedai are just the old gossip circle in the old Southern churches. You know, they're all the old ladies with their shawls, and they hold all the authority and the power in that congregation, in that community. They gossip, they handle things, right? And they go home and they rule their homes with an iron shawl. But it's interesting to see how the show has sort of put down some of those old stereotypes and picked up other ones, while like the White Tower in the books and the White Tower of the show are two completely different things, right?
Oh yeah.
But the energy still feels similar.
Yeah.
You still have very I know entitled is a bit of a swear word, but they are very entitled old ladies kind of running around ruling things, and it's fun. I like it.
They all I mean, I feel like the same with any kind of position of power. As someone who would specifically seek it out, there's a bit of ego that you have to have almost to be the type of person to seek out a position like that. Not every one of them is, obviously. I feel like the people that the Aes Sedai that were the kinds that would seek out the position would be like blues and reds and greens and maybe even browns to a point, and whites and grays. But like, your yellows and your browns, and maybe even some of the, I always mix up the whites and the grays. Like one's the ambassadors and then the other ones are the lawyers. The ones who are like the lawyers may also kind of happen to fall into it, and they have a little bit less ego. Like, you don't really see a lot of browns with a huge ego.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the yellows are more focused on healing and fixing things than they are on like being an Aes Sedai.
Yeah. There's definitely a couple of the Ajas that are more centric around Aes Sedai and what it means to be Aes Sedai, and that's more of a cornerstone or keystone of their Aja charter.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say the guy that makes the bread is kind of cute though.
Yes, I like his hair. It's good.
Yeah.
If he was just better at cooking bread.
It's true. Oh, and look, more flannel in the Two Rivers.
Nice.
That's a good. He made some good faces in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this face too. Look at this. This is great. I love how he could pull off like daddy and also like, oh my god, you're scary warrior dude. But also look at his face. Look at him. He's great. Fucking Bjorn, man, is awesome. The healthy relationship dynamics too that Alana and Maxim and now they are displaying is also just pretty fantastic. Oh yeah, so what do you guys think of this? So it seems like Melindra is older than Lan. Like she was probably like a little bit older of a child when Malkir fell. What do you think about this dynamic here?
It's interesting for sure. I feel like it's a way to pull some more like New Spring backstory into it in a way when like they couldn't bring Matt into the story.
Yeah.
And so it's a trade-off, but I feel like it helps the story along when it's like we couldn't reasonably make the book Melindra storyline happen.
Yeah. like obviously the Matt and Melindra stuff in the books is like a ton of fun to read, but nothing like integral to the story wise. Like changing her spot isn't gonna disrupt the story. And since they had to do what they had to end up doing with Matt, they having her there to do like still having the character and giving her a lot of the similar scenes and stuff, just giving that to Lan instead of Matt, is better, right? It's a good compromise.
I still hope we get at least one good similar scene.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping.
That's fair. Okay.
They're doing a lot of like female mentorship, right?
Yeah.
Matt is being sort of. I know. Min and Matt they're kind of being paired up. Rand is being mentored, by Avienda, which I know is book accurate. But it's sort of a trend or a theme that they're doing where they've got this sort of female mentorship. And I think it's interesting that they're giving Lan a mentor or a need for a mentor in this kind of dynamic. I'm wondering what the payoff is going to be, right? Because this is a brand new storyline, and not even just including Melindra, just talking about Lan in general, and this sort of insecurity he has about ruling Malkir. That's in the books, but him being so vocal about it and talking about it, and I don't know what to do. I'm wondering how this payoff is going to go. I think maybe they're going to use this as a way to propel the Golden Crane writing for Tarman Gaiden, and this is sort of the seed for that.
Ooh, that's a fun. I like this theory. That's a fun theory. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
I got to point this out too. So did I get a shot of it? Okay, yeah. This is obviously where they're training right now for the dream walking. Oh, yeah. This is the exact shot of from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. When they approach what this building is actually modeled after, which is a real temple in Cairo, I think. Well, I have. Hold on, I'll just show the images. I'll just put it up on the screen. So
I thought it was in like Turkey or something.
It's in. I'm pretty sure it's in Egypt. Oh, okay. But yeah. Anyway, so this is it's Petra. Yeah, Petra. That's the name of the actual temple. But this is the actual shot from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is literally this shot that they got.
Yeah.
Here. So it's like definitely a nod to that, which I really like. The other thing it's in Jordan.
Thanks,
okay. Thank you, Glenn. The other thing I'm glad we got was
Arosa got it. Everybody knew, Tom.
Everybody but us.
Everybody but us.
I just, what it is I mix things up in my head. You know that. That's why I said 3 different countries. I was like, it could be any of these. It was none of them. But
thanks, Mom. You guys, my mom just texted me what it was. It's hilarious.
I love that. I'm very glad we got this dress again. This was the dress that she wore as the Amaryllis in her little dream sequence. Yeah, it was such a cool dress.
They knew it was too good.
They were like, we can't just use that.
Yeah,
for 12 seconds and throw it away. We can't do that.
I like the way they show the transition in Tel'aran'rhiod, how like the dress kind of like crumbles off of her. So now, like, I feel like now we're getting a confirmation of what it looks like in Tel'aran'rhiod when they make changes. Like, we see them moving people in and out of the world, changing the world, and it always has this kind of like dusting look.
Yeah, a particle. Yeah.
It makes me want to go back and rewatch season 1 and 2 to look for when they used this effect to see if that.
They might not have had the money for that effect.
They might not have.
But
see if we can pinpoint other things that we were questioning whether or not they're Tel'aran'rhiod, and if they were.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see one of them. Yeah, maybe again show up in her goth costume again, though.
Yes. So for those who have been following along on our journey in this season 3, we've gotten to interview a bunch of people. We as in Dragonmount, at which all of the interviews that we've done so far up on the Dragonmount YouTube, so go check them out. But I got to speak to Thomas Napper, who was the director of episode 4, and I talked to Zoe, And
sweet.
One of the questions I asked Zoe was, what was your favorite costume that you wore this year? And it was in this season, and it was 100% the goth outfit, she said. She said they all had so much fun that day on set, and like that it was such a cool thing to film. And then he elaborated on that answer unknowing to him in his response when he was just talking about the filming of that episode, which was really cool, which was that this is the only time he's at one. This was the only time this season when all of them were in one place at one time, which if you think about that, yeah,
that's true.
It was the only time he's ever filmed all of them on screen at once.
Ooh.
So like it was a really special day for those reasons. So like there was just a really, he's like, it was such a weird thing to film like another Moiraine death on such a day that was like everyone was so excited and happy because they hadn't seen each other that much this season. But you know, we did it, we pulled it out, and it was really, he's just listening to him talk was fantastic.
Love it.
Oh, well, isn't that Jug Jury doesn't like the Wheel of Time? Apparently, it's the worst series ever.
He said Siri, so I'm gonna just say it says Siri. We're Siri.
Yeah.
Siri ever. Hey, you know what though? You know what though? It's the cool thing, and what I say about ice cream, right? Is it would be absolutely insane for everybody in the world to love the same
thing. Yeah.
And you know what? You can love vanilla and you can hate vanilla.
Yeah.
But where we have problems, where I have problems at least, is when I love
we're in
vanilla
agreement
ice
on this
cream,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
and someone else comes up and says, I hate vanilla ice cream. And I go, that's cool, man. Guess what?
Yep.
There's chocolate ice cream right over there.
Yep.
And if they go, I hate vanilla ice cream and you should hate vanilla ice cream too, now we've got a problem.
Yep.
Because I love vanilla ice cream. I don't have to explain to you why I love it.
Yes. I totally agree. Like everyone's opinion on that is valid.
Man. Yeah. And you know what? There are plenty of critiques to offer the show. Like I have been vocal in my criticisms of some of the points in the show.
Me too. So have we. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool. And some of the things that I didn't like about the show, some other people love about the show. And some of the things I love about the show, other people hate it. So
exactly.
Cool. We're all different. That's what makes us beautiful. I think a bowl of humanity.
I think we can say pretty unequivocally that this season is just good filmmaking.
Yeah.
Too. Like on a level of just filmmaking. And I feel like it's a unanimous agreement, as season 3 is almost at 98% positive reviews on.
Yeah, it was 97% last night when I saw it.
Yeah, and Rotten Tomatoes. So, which reminds me, if you haven't left a review on Rotten Tomatoes and/or IMDb for season 3 or The Wheel of Time in general, go and leave a review because it will help us get a season 4.
That's true. Talk about it.
I loved this scene.
Talking about it.
I loved this scene right here. Like this made me laugh. Yeah. They do such a good job in this. This series, particularly this season, balancing like horrible things happening with comedy.
It seems wildly intentional this season. Like they put us through something awful and there's the humor. Like every episode multiple times.
Yeah.
Also, my 3-year-old does that to me when he doesn't want me to talk anymore. It's real
hilarious.
Real obnoxious.
I was like when Nynaeve, when they were like they're afraid Nynaeve will throw herself overboard, and she was like, "Is that an option?"
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, there's a lot of just like really cleverly placed comedy in this. That's just so great.
This particular scene here with Elaine and Matt and Nynaeve was absolute perfection in the spirit of the characters from the book translated directly to
the dynamic of Elaine kind of taking charge, and
Elaine's doing the royal, like we need to understand the social,
she's being
how these people operate socially, and of course completely missing it because she's seeing it from a royalty perspective now. Nynaeve is too sick to do anything, but she's had enough. Matt is going insane dealing with these two women.
Yeah.
It's great. It was beautiful. It really was.
Agreed. Whoa, why did it do that? It does. Stupid pictures.
Too fast. Too fast.
Yeah, it just like sometimes I'll be scrolling through the pictures and it'll randomly just scroll through all of them really fast for some reason. There we go.
I really did not think that we were going to get the sea folk. I didn't see that coming this season. I thought maybe in season 4. I was surprised.
I was happy that we got them though.
No, I'm not against it. I was just kind of shocked.
Yeah, they're even providing some propulsion for some of the storyline that I think was kind of brilliant, actually. Yeah. Now, will we get them more? I don't know. But even if this is the nod that we get,
yeah, true.
It was good. It was overall, I think it was good. I liked it.
I think we're going to see a lot more of them. I think so. Like in the book, they served almost the same purpose the first time we met them, which was just a quick tidbit to show us the Aes Sedai don't really know what they're talking about when it comes to a lot of things, which the Aiel also served as a way to kind of knock the Aes Sedai off their pedestal. Mm-hmm. You know, Avienda channeling without moving her hands, and the Wise Ones channeling out without having to do the motions, and also like the bigger things like picking apart the weaves, where Aes Sedai thought that was impossible, and you know them thinking that they only have weak channelers coming from the Sea Folk. And like they're doing a great setup for like all of these different cultures have their own basic version, like basically their own version of an Aes Sedai, and they're just as valid and powerful and smart and talented with the one power as the Aes Sedai are in their own way.
Yeah. Well, and the Wave Mistress even says it straight out. She's like, "Hey, there's more than one way to channel, and there's more than one way to be a woman." Like exactly. it was kind of a deep cut.
I was so excited when Abdul Silas showed back up. I just had to say that again.
He's got such a punchable face.
Yeah.
That's why I love him. That's why I love him.
Oh, I love him.
But I will tell you, as the seasons have gone on, he was like top of my hated list, and he's moved down. Like he's not he's bad, but he's not top of my list anymore. Mo Gideon holds that crown because she's
as it were.
Yeah. So I took a couple of like really like frame by frame screenshots for this scene so that I could just trying to tell at the time like who was channeling.
Which
obviously
one of them it was.
Yeah, we kind of have an idea now, but it was pretty cool. Like you just the channeling just comes from around the entire cage though, so we couldn't tell. That's a good face. I feel bad for Natty though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No buenos. Look at this face. He looks happy. So you know, like, not to bring up the book series that shall not be named, but he makes me think of Dolores Umbridge. Like,
yeah,
as like an evil person who gains so much happiness from being evil. Like it's not just like
he's very smug about all of it. That's great.
Yeah, like he genuinely enjoys what he's doing. Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh.
He does make some great faces though. I love fucking Abdul Silas.
But I also like this episode. There's this scene, and then there's the later line from I don't know why I have trouble with names right now, but about Menetherin and the blood in that.
Yes, the strong blood in
Yeah, I like how they keep referencing that, and this is another one where it's like, oh wow, okay, somebody there just channeled, like, for someone who hasn't read the books. That's fun to see. Like, oh, okay, more. Like, I like building that story out.
We might get another guest in a second, maybe. One of my other cats is in here wandering around.
Luther?
Yeah, Luther. This was a great scene too. Another great, well-placed comedic scene after something horrible. Like we had the White Cloaks and horrible things happening, and then we have, End Me, and of course Bane and Shiad being the comedy relief again.
Yeah, her.
I loved it. Look at that. Look how smug. She is a great Fael. I'm loving her more and more every moment we see her as Fael.
I called her emo Peter Pan, and I upset some people. with that one.
Oh, come on. I hate you because I could, if I'm picturing, I hate you because I'm picturing her in green tights now. That's what's happening.
Yeah. It's the hair. It's the haircut. It fits.
Look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I know I'm going to be eating crow for that one later, but
that's fine.
I said what I said.
Good thing you like crow.
Did you notice that one of the Rands in his past looked like Kelsey Grammer? Did you catch that in that episode?
Oh yeah, the Kelsey Grammer Rand.
The Kelsey Grammer Rand. I can't unsee it now.
Let me pull up. Let me see if I have a shot.
So who was it was saying something about that scene bugged him, and I'm like, it's because he looks like Kelsey Grammer, and that would terrify anyone.
Where's my episode 4 screenshots? There he is.
Look at him.
He does kind of
tree. I'm going down to Cheers for a beer.
And like the forehead and the nose, I think.
I 100% see it. I 100% see it. This scene is I felt so bad for Maxim when she was like, "You're not enough." Like I was like, "Oh, that hurt." That hurt my heart.
I don't think he doesn't feel like she's enough either.
Look at this. Yeah, that's definitely a frustrated with myself face. Yeah, I agree.
I like the way they're showing their like grief process, you know, because it's one of those things that everybody handles it so differently. And I mean, here are these two where he wants to go and do something, and he says that, like, he said, I think it was last episode that he said, like, she feels nothing. And it's like, of course she doesn't feel nothing, but she has to shut that feeling off to keep going, you know? And so it's like that her way of coping, where his is to be like, just let it all out. And I think it's interesting that, like, I like this episode for kind of like exploring that more, how like they're both dealing with this together and separately.
Yeah. They both have their own way to deal with the grief, and Maxim is like not really giving her space to do it her way.
Yeah.
But he learns, I feel like. He gets, you know, he gets better at it. And like, look at this face. Come on. You can't be mad at that face for too long.
There's nothing better for the healing process than another life-threatening situation.
Yeah.
Couple being turned into a pincushion.
2 arrows in the side always make, you know,
perspective.
See a little clearer, you know.
Yeah. Well, we counted, by the way. I want to see what you guys think, if you agree with me, for the Rand. We had 15 and a half, I say, Rands in episode 4. We get the half from Rand. We have one version of Rand who goes into Ruidian. Then we get 13 Rands in Ruidian. And then including his flash, well, not just Rands, but characters that Yosha plays. So we have 13 different characters that Yosha plays in Ruidian between Maureen's visions and Rand's visions. Okay. And then we have a different Rand walking out of Ruidian. You know, he's the Ka Karn. He's different than when he went in.
He's
but
somewhat an Aiel of himself, actually.
Crystal only gave me a half a Rand for that.
Yeah, that's only a half.
She only gave me a half a Rand for that. I really like this actress as Melindra, though, a lot. Look at this fucking face.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone,
and especially like
ridiculous.
If we find out that she, we know about Melindra in Fires of Heaven, don't we?
You're asking the wrong girl.
Yeah,
it's all one book after 3. I've told you this. It's just one long.
I'm going to say yes.
I like that. One long.
You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to back it up with some research.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do find out about her. I think we do know.
I could give the major plot points to the books, but no, anything small, I don't know where it came from.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Yes, she is only in Fires of Heaven. So by the end of Fires of Heaven, you understand who she is.
Yeah. So like if we find out that she is Black Aja, I mean, not Black Odja, a dark friend.
Dark friend.
I won't be surprised, but like she pulls like specifically because of this face like while she looks all sweet, I just felt like something dark is lurking there.
I like all the maidens for those grins that they're they're talking and all of a sudden and it's like I don't know.
Tom, I was right.
Okay, all right. So I'll take my half a rand.
Well, I will say this: we did all of Rand's previous ancestors did not score points for Rand for anything.
Okay.
So John Dwyn, when he killed those people in the Fantasy League, Rand did not get those kills. John Dwyn got those kills.
Okay.
Even though Rand was technically there behind his eyes.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly. But it was a memory of someone else who did the
That's
deed.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. I agree with whoever ruled on that.
That would be Commissioner Smack.
Nice.
Lays the smack down and all of it.
He does. He doth layeth the smack down.
I think this was the conversation they always should have had in the books. Here's an instance of a scene in the show that I think is a conversation they should have always had in the books. Someone has the giggle.
Reese has a band in her room. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that's fine. I just like that she's uncontrollably giggling.
It's my dog eating, and she's banging the bowl around in its tray.
That's
It's like
hilarious.
as she's licking it clean. We always laugh that she like passive aggressively finishes her meal so that we know. She just
like,
bangs it around.
This
gone.
bowl is empty now.
The bowl is empty.
Noticed.
Maybe you want to do something about that.
But I always felt like this was the conversation that they should have had in the books. You know, Maureen confiding in Lan and telling him about the things like the fact that she didn't trust him to act right if she, quote unquote, died was, I feel like, out of character for the two of them. Like the fact that she thought at this point in the books that Lan would not continue the fight against the Dark One and instead would run away and go to die in the Blight by himself, I feel like is like kind of shitty.
Yeah, insulting a little.
No.
Like, okay, come on.
No. I love this scene though with the two of them. The laugh that she has right here, like this little exchange that they have is just fantastic. Look at this face. She's such a great actor.
Look at his face.
They're both pretty great actors.
She's serving face right there.
That's true. Very
She's
true.
serving face. Every time someone says that, all I can think of is the face of Bo from Doctor Who.
Oh God. That's the future of humanity right there.
That's it.
Okay, so speaking of the future of humanity, I am shipping these two. M&M, I'm calling it.
M&M, huh? Matt and Min.
Yeah. Matt and Min.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
They're gonna have to sell it to me a little bit harder. I don't know.
I don't see.
I am not an everything needs to be like the book.
I was gonna say I kind of really like Platana buddies a lot. Like
Yeah.
I think
I totally understand the sentiment behind that too. Like having a man and a woman have a completely platonic relationship without having any kind of romantic vibes mixed into it. I get that. But there's just been some scenes with them where the way that they react to some of the things that they say about each other that makes me think like there's a little bit
there
deeper
could be something
feelings.
building maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
see what the omens say.
This is another one of those that I'm not so sure I'm in love with, because this is, again, it's another kind of female character mentoring a man character, and it's like, Matt, you have to be amazing and I have to teach you how. And it's kind of like one of those like, okay. Like,
yeah,
what are we doing here?
I don't know if I would say like she's mentoring him so much as she's like, she cares about him and she wants him to live.
Sure.
So like, well, but she does that with a lot of the people in the books. So
we get a taste of this with her comments before he fights the princes, right?
Yeah.
Where she's like, what if we could use these gifts? So what if we could use this? And that's sort of where he gets the seed planted that, hey, maybe it is an idea. I don't know. I like I was saying with my previous point, we're gonna have to see where this goes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm on board with the M&M ships right now.
The thing that I have is I feel like if where we stand right now, it's going to be hard to make Min fall for Rand and make it not feel like wedged in there. I'm not saying that Rafe and Rami and all of the writers are not capable of doing that, because they are. They're very good writers, but I like this. I don't know why I like it. I just like it.
Yeah.
So you know what? Only have it would be just a triple.
You can like vanilla ice cream.
There you go.
And you don't need to justify that to anyone.
Yeah, and this is just me saying, like, this is my theory. I don't even know that I could be completely off base. They could be not doing that entirely. Like maybe they're not doing that. Min is Batman, Matt is 1000%. If that was the dynamic, that would be accurate. That would be 1000% accurate.
I love the weaving of the Windfinders.
Oh, beautiful.
I don't. It's not how I pictured it in the books, and I'm totally okay with that. Like, I think it's better than I pictured. It's more like it's magical. It looks like the aurora. Like it's so cool.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And it's almost like they're dancing. Like their emotions are so exaggerated.
You and Glenn.
Yep.
Yeah. It is just. It's so. Yeah. It's so mesmerizing. Cool. It was. It started raining in my house when I was watching this scene. It was the weirdest thing.
The sprinkler system from the fire alarm.
Yeah, I didn't even know we had one, and like it's
People
working.
In a drought can play this episode.
I support that. It was raining in my pants in a lot of this episode, but that's I'm sorry. I'll just I broke Josh.
Oh God, I was not drinking.
I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry.
I would have painted my camera and computer with
So particularly this scene, there's a spot in this scene when Matt says in a second, like basically Nynaeve's like, why do we trust you? Like, why do we trust you about men? And she makes this face. It's like a little smile that she gets for half a second. This was the scene that, like, when I was watching this for the first time, this was the scene where I was like, Matt and Min. Like this was the moment. Watch. So like it's coming up in a second. Nynaeve's gonna be like, can we trust her, Matt? Now watch her face. She's like, okay, cool. And then little smile. And then she wipes it off her face. So like it's like that when she looked at him when she first asked, like when Nynaeve first asked, can we trust her? Like that was like that face that she made was like she was vulnerable there. And then when he said yes, she looked more pleased than just being like part of the group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was the scene that made me think it. That moment is what made me think it.
Just borrowing the Batman metaphor. Harvey dead, can we trust him?
Well, we'll just have to waffo, and we'll see. We'll just have to see. We'll just have maybe.
We don't know if we can trust him or not.
Don't know.
Look at those lovely night flowers. My goodness.
Oh my God.
I know, right? Look at that.
Goodness.
Well, I didn't catch those on my first watch through.
Hot in here.
So this is pretty big. For a minute when Elida does this, I was like, oh shit, Elida's Black Aja. She just killed them like no qualms.
Yeah, exactly where I went to.
Yeah.
Oh
But then I remembered the 3 O's.
Oh, we 100% looked it up just to be sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You like there's no it specifically says that like using the 1 power as a weapon against a dark friend is 100% legit. Like it's fine. They say unless it's against a dark friend. And
the Shadow Spawn and dark friends.
Yep.
And dark friends. Yep. So I was like,
I do think it does a lot to kind of show us who Elida is, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that no hesitation. It's like,
I love when she's like,
okay.
I am not Swan Sanche.
Yeah.
I will just wreck your world, boy.
I'm going to tell you, Finns, I felt so good that Tom also questioned it and didn't remember.
I didn't remember the exact wording of the oath. Yeah. I was. We got to give a special shout out to Zenobia Kloppers.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, she has a fantastic name. And second of all, I love her. Go and check out her social media over on Instagram. She's been fucking fabulous for the last week or so, sharing stuff. And she also shared a memory from her Facebook, which was from 2013. I just finished A Memory of Light, the last book of the Wheel of Time series. Brandon Sanderson finished it and Robert Jordan started it. I want to thank everybody. This is such a great, she's been a fan of the Wheel of Time for a long time.
So
and
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Go and give her some shout outs on social media.
Yeah,
tell her how much we love her.
I do love how many actors involved in the show are also book fans. I mean,
Me too.
Guy Roberts, right? I mean, it's a dream story. Rafe Judkins. And
I've seen a picture of Rafe sitting in his mother's lap reading the book when he was 12.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, and that's kind of what this is kind of where I go back to with the whole, not everybody is required to like vanilla. Okay. I've made the joke, what books did you read there, Chief? Because our interpretations of what happens are we as humans have such spicy brains that we can read the same passages and have wildly different interpretations of them.
Yep.
You want to break your brain, look up the a physicist explaining perspective.
Yeah.
That'll crazily break your brain.
It's wild that Eyewitness is one of the most damning pieces of evidence in a court.
Untrustworthy pieces of The only place where eyewitness testimony is valued in any way is in the court of law, but in science, in any form of science,
it's wild.
Yeah. I kind of glossed over Jaichim the Grey over here attacking, and that's because he comes in and dies in one scene. But still, it was a nice little throwback.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those, you've got such a truncated means of telling a story. They're trying to get the characters in, even if they kind of have to jam them in with their thumbs a little bit.
And again, that had some good shock power to it. You're like, oh, dang.
Very true.
Yeah.
Second time we've seen Leanne smile now. Once under compulsion and twice when she got to murder a fucking Shadow Spawn.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that this is going to endear Suain to Elida in any way, shape, or form?
No.
No, not at all. I don't think she can have those feelings.
Another gorgeous bit of channeling too.
Yeah. We get some insight into this with Moraine visiting Swan later on in the episode, right? Where she tells Swan, this was your job and you botched it. And Swan's going, damn, you're right. And she has this real sort of moment of vulnerability with Moraine. And I hate it. But it's perfect parallel with the spirit of who Swan Sanche is. Because Swan, that's a hard pill for her to swallow, that she failed.
Yeah.
Ultimately, she botched it. She was not a good Amyrlin for that reason.
In that regard, yeah.
Yeah. In that regard.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? To tell you the truth, in a lot of regards, because they had the Black Aja completely. Though, in her defense, the Black Aja was infesting the tower for many, 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 many years.
And that's not on one Amerlin. I was able to go through every single Aja undetected. Yeah. That's on everyone.
Is that proof, mistress? But all of the other things that happened pretty much during her reign were frustrating. But I want to, before we get too far out of this scene, Child Buyer here is the whole White Cloak scene feels like Perrin's White Cloak stuff from book 1.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The way it plays out, Child Buyer being here second in command, like this is all very especially with the dead wolves, like that wasn't a thing from earlier. So like all of this is very much like leaning into that scene. Like even though we had a similar scene in season 1 with the White Cloaks, it was for Egwene and not Perrin. Like that scene was more focused on Egwene and what was happening with her and the White Cloaks and to her with the White Cloaks. And this is much more about Perrin, this scene. So
this felt much more like the books.
Yeah. That first instance with Perrin and the White Cloaks for sure. He really does look like he should have those big aviator, like child predator glasses on, and he would be perfect.
Do you remember that first image they released of the White Cloaks?
Yes.
With every single one of them had those amazing mustaches.
And the high and tight fade.
These are the questioners for sure because they mustache us.
So this was a choice.
I tried to play that one cool. I tried to play it cool. I could not. Jeez.
Okay. I was like trying to. I misread this like 6 times. You want Theo James to play Demandred? Okay, I got it. I like him. I like that. That's a thing. That's a cool fan casting. Theo James is awesome. I just hate Demandred as a character, so I'd support Theo James for any of the other Forsaken. This was a big choice for Natty Cawthon, though. How do you guys feel about that?
Okay. This is one of the things. This is actually one of the aspects of the show that I'm not a fan of, and maybe someone needs to offer me some perspective here. Perrin's family got away. Perrin's family escaped. We got Perrin's family out for now. But we're gonna do. I don't know. It just like what's going on. I feel like we're back and forth. We're all over the place here.
Yeah. Honestly,
I'm like. You go ahead, Rish.
I was wondering if maybe it was just because we, as an audience for the show, don't know Perrin's family. We have no connection to them.
Yeah.
So this happening to them would be like, oh, that's so sad for him. But this is like, oh man, not only is it Perrin, but it's Matt as well. So Perrin probably has like some like responsibility feeling where it's like, oh man, like it wasn't even my family because I didn't move. It was Matt's. And like, I feel like that's probably going to affect him somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to hurt our feelings.
Yeah. Well, for sure. Like I feel like there's a lot that goes into it here. So like, one is you have a lot of characters on screen and this is a way to cull them. 2 is you want Bode and Alwyn to leave the 2 rivers. Yeah. So like this is another good way to do that and make it clean. Where a big gripe in the books specifically about Bode and Alwyn, but they also talk about all the 2 rivers, where everyone in the 2 rivers is like, yeah, sure, take my kids, bye. Like, and no one's like,
that's good.
Yeah, no one's like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, the world seems like a totally safe place. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No Guardian in the chat. Valda hates wolves for some stupid reason.
Vicky, you know what? I would say like 15% fridge maybe with Natty Cawthon, because like she wasn't invented solely for the purpose of furthering a man's storyline.
Like Layla.
Yeah, like Layla was. Like Layla is 100% a fridge, but I like that she's the only fridge that in a story that I was like, I think this is appropriate. And we can get into that in a little bit, but I want to, before we finish this episode, I want to, like, I don't want to go off on a tangent and go through the episode, but like I would say, they're not a romantic couple, so it's not like there's a romantic thing there, which is usually a vital part of a fridge.
Yeah.
And it's not really just it is forwarding like men's storylines, in that it's going to push forward Perrin's and Matt's storyline, but it's also going to push forward Bode and Alwyn's storyline too.
Yeah.
And
so
possibly
do you
even
think they're going to be? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say possibly even Abel's.
Yeah, that's definitely going to play a dynamic in that, for sure.
He's going to have a great redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
Yeah, you know what? I can agree with that. Knuckles Mustache. Fantastic name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Knuckles, I'm excited to see you in April. I'm going to give you the biggest hug. You have been warned.
Oh, I'm so sad now. I'm not going to see you guys in April.
What?
I know. But
I'm pretty sure
I'm going to give Crystal is going to give you guys extra hugs if she is a hugger. I don't know if you want to hug people.
Yeah.
But I will request Crystal give everyone extra hugs from me.
So sad.
Crystal, I'm going to give you an extra big hug that I want you to deliver to Tom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to miss Erin too. Who's going to take care of me at the dance party?
That's fair. She usually takes care of me, and then by extension takes care of like one or two other people. So.
Reese will also not be there.
Oh, so sad.
All you Florida people down there can be all Florida together.
It's
maybe we'll have like a FOMO con or something.
Just stay where there's no pollen. That's fine.
Pollen.
Okay, I caught us up. The we can have Jordan Can't. Oh God, I love her. This is why I love her.
This is why I love her. Jordan Can. Well, I got that there, Jordan Can.
I got them there, Jordan Can't.
Very American of you. I love it.
I fucking love it. The fight scene with Aiel and Perrin was great. I loved that. Just because we drove past it. I just want to I love what we're seeing from them. I'm happy about, and this is kind of leads into the Layla thing. Is I liked the way they did Layla because it makes Perrin's behavior in Aiel and his relationship later on less toxic and less rooted in toxic masculinity and more rooted in a trauma that he suffered. Yeah. So like, not that it makes his behavior a little less toxic, where if he's like, you're a woman, I have to protect you, but it grounds it in less like, I'm just being a chivalrous man because it's the way to do things, and more, I had this horrible trauma and this is how it affects me. So
I feel like a lot of the backstory changes they did helped with like problems like that in the books. Like I actually, one of the things I didn't necessarily like with Matt's character in the book was he was just like a class clown always around, and now it really gave a lot of reason for why he is the way he is, why he does
100%. I had literally the same point. You and I have the same brain, and that's why I love
clown was what it was, but like, where did he get this sense of honor and obligation from?
It just seemed like it was just the blood. The blood ran strong. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah, and so this gives you partly your ancestral kind of stuff, but also your nurture and how you were raised, and the fact that they're giving that a bit more depth. Like we've said time and time again, that this show has done wonders for the villains' backstories and making them so much more believable and so much more interesting than just, I want power, I want to live forever. But they've helped, like it's also helped, like you just said, our protagonists' backstories too, and made them a little less
One more time, Tom.
We're back to the shack, to the love shack.
It's a little love place where we can get together.
You're not wrong.
I like the closed caption. Emotional music plays.
Emotional music plays, yeah.
Ready.
I like that their outfits are much different this time. Although
yes,
the dream.
It's almost like, you know, they're wearing, like, before their Aiel. I don't want to say their outfits were, I don't want to say childish, but they were more like flaunting, revealing, looser, comfortable, and like they were somewhere enjoying themselves. And they seem, these outfits are a little bit more reserved and purposeful, and they seem like they like almost
they're
like
out
a business,
and about. Yeah,
like a business casual almost. They could wear that to the office if they were Aes Sedai. If she was just an Aes Sedai still, you know, because it's blue. So
I mean, that might be a little low cut. I don't know, for the office, Tom.
Maybe.
I did make a comment when I was watching this episode about the hilarity of the dialogue in this scene, and I did have several people point out to me and went, "No, it's pretty accurate for a lesbian relationship." I was like, wow. And it was lesbians who said that to me. So
yeah, and you got to listen to when the experts say something.
Maybe I'm just a dude, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yes. We do have that in common. Though this is really where that like when you talked about before how she kind of failed, her failure as an Amyrlin is where it gets framed out as like, you know, you were supposed to get the tower ready to not leash and control Rand al'Thor, but bend the knee
exactly.
to him.
Noman Garden with it. I know two things. Number one, and that's it.
And that's it.
No, that's it. Okay, this scene right here is so.
I know.
This is the scene that they just hurt our feelings with. They just hurt our feelings. That's it. That's all they wanted to do here. They wanted to hurt our feelings. They wanted everybody to cry. This is not the happy scene that everybody thinks it is.
It's horrible. Yeah. So Crystal actually, when we were recording our thing for this episode, she was like, "Oh, what are you talking about? That's young Egwene." I'm like,
take it. Like, I thought it was a memory.
I was like, "No, sweetie, that is her dreaming about her daughter."
And then I was really sad.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could have let me
she doesn't
have my delusion, Tom.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, wait, hold on. And here's our scene again.
All right. Open your eyes.
Okay, but then and his mom says, "I'm so proud."
Yeah. Personally, this is the scene that broke me. This is the scene that made me cry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because Egwene is walking through their dreams right now. So this is what they are dreaming about. So Elaine is dreaming about, you know, this relationship, this new relationship that she's having with Aviendha is just, you know, a little bit of escapism. Nynaeve is dreaming about her dead / not real daughter, and Matt, all he wants is his mother's approval.
Yeah. And look at how good she looks too. It's probably the best we ever see her in the entire show.
Yeah, even in the opening like scenes, like when they do the recaps, they just had to throw in, "You're a damn prick like your father."
Yeah, of course. And then obviously this also kind of killed me.
Boy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. This is such a great shot too, right?
Hubba, dog.
Like, look at that face. I love them together so much. Look at that. The family. It's the family.
She's so happy. Look at it.
And
look.
I feel like this is poignant to point out. He is forging an axe.
Yep.
So he's leaning a little bit more toward his violent side at the moment. Look at that face. She's like, "Oh, Rand. Oh, that's so nice." Oh God. Oh boy.
Okay, look. This was another thing that I was absolutely super angry about at first.
Okay.
Lanfear being this like, "Oh, I just wanted justice and harmony and love and peace for everyone." Okay. I was like mad, right? Because maybe that's what she wanted 3,000 years ago, but now she's like evil. Then this scene happened, and poor Egwene is like got like heartbroken, and
terrified, heartbroken, disgusted, so many things.
And now I'm starting to go, okay, is Lanfear being the manipulative, evil woman to Rand in order to get Rand on her side? And I think that's what's happening, which only increases the depths of her evilness.
Yeah. Knuckles' mustache, yes, it is similar. It's not the same shot, but it's similar to the scenes that we had, both when we found out his name and that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have to say something to you, Josh, which is a quote from Robert Jordan himself. The quote, I'm going to change it a little bit for this instance, is, you're basically saying, but Lanfear told me, and I'm saying, why did you believe anything Lanfear told you? And you believed her? Like, you believed Lanfear?
Lanfear. That's okay. Go.
But like that. See, this is why I'm enjoying the show so much. And so, real quick, obviously, episode ended. So if you were in the watch party, that's why it stopped. That's the end of the episode. Yes, we did see the preview. We could watch it again in a minute here because it's only like 30 seconds long. We talked about that early on in the stream. But it's the thing that I like about the show is, even for someone like you and me, because like me too, there's so much for me too. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Like we have Wheel of Time content, new Wheel of Time content.
Yes.
And we don't know where it's going. We get to theorize. I can't. The only thing that we have that's kind of messing with us a little bit is that we have an idea. We have where the book went, and we're trying to fit the piece that doesn't fit like in the puzzle together. Mm-hmm. But instead, like, I feel like stop trying to get this piece to fit and just be like, sit on the edge of the chair and wonder, you know what I mean? Like, that's the fun part. Like, that's what I was honestly, and no shame to people that have found the book series and the Wheel of Time more recently. I'm jealous of you for having found it after it was finished, because you didn't have to wait at all for things to come out.
Well, this was one of the inspirations for the fantasy,
preview,
right? The TV Fantasy League.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea what's going to happen. None. We can try our best. We can predict. We can theorize, which is what we all enjoyed doing back in the day.
Exactly. That's the thing that we get to sit around and talk about.
That nostalgia again.
The Wheel of Time again. It's like, we don't know where it's going to go, and like, and we get to be surprised by it, and that's my favorite thing. Was being like getting to see it again, and I have the same feeling that I had when I read a new book. Is like, I can't wait to see where this is going to go. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. See, that's the other thing is that now again. I'm just saying this because, and this isn't a bad thing, because I love seeing all the same people at JordanCon every year. They're some of my best friends. Most of the people that were at my wedding that weren't like my family or my wife's family, I met through the Wheel of Time conventions and are from the Wheel of Time community. The two people that I met from the Wheel of Time community were 4 people that I met from the Wheel of Time community were in my wedding party. 2 of them did readings at my wedding, and like. Most of the people that were that I had, like most of my friends that were at my wedding were from the Wheel of Time community. But like, having gone to JordanCon for 14, 15 years and having been part of Dragonmount and Tarvalon.net and the Theoryland and the Grey Tower and all of the role-playing forums for 22 years, I've had the same conversation with the same group of like 100 people or so for 20 years. Yeah. So getting new people into the books and into the Wheel of Time communities is great, because now we get all these new people to talk to, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Glenn. And, I take that as a compliment, Glenn.
The show has revived Raffo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book series is done, but guess what? Now people are reading and going, oh my gosh, what's going to happen with Avienda? Raffo.
Yep.
And and we are all currently living in a Waffo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I love being able to say that again. I'm looking for my Waffle card.
I mean, I like that we can see that scene with Elida and go, oh, wait, does this mean? And have to run and check before knowing. Because
exactly.
Hey,
and there's that small piece where she's talking to Alviarin. And it's like, wait a minute. Is that lip service? And I'm not going to say too much because, again, we're spoilers. But we know that Alviarin is a character in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Is that lip service, or are they doing something? Are they setting? Are they planting a seed there? Is that a chora cutting that is going to grow into a gorgeous Avendeldora?
Yes, I think so. Here's a good example. Yeah, you know it's a thing with the way that they did the filming of this. We've talked about before. It's in 4K and like. Yeah. Watching, like viewing these images. I've brightened a lot of them up, but they start to get distorted when I brighten them up too much. But I tried. I will start, and I have an announcement for this later, but there will be a way for you guys to look at all of these screenshots that I have for all of these episodes and all of my notes I'm going to be posting soon, eventually. But we'll talk about that in a minute. What was I saying before we just talked about that? Shit. My brain deleted it. I'll remember in a second.
Elida, Alviarin.
Elida and Alviarin. Okay, so here's a great, on that same vein, Josh, to what you're saying without, and we could fully talk about this without spoiling anything because it's already happened in season 2 of the show. Right. So as a book reader, and all of us here, book readers who have finished the series, and many of the people in chat, when the dynamic between Liandrin and Nynaeve has been some of my favorite changes. And they even had like Rafe and Rami Park, who wrote a lot of season 2 and season 3 now too, had me guessing whether or not Nynaeve was going to choose red or yellow Aja in the beginning of season 2 because of the dynamic of Liandrin's and Nynaeve's relationship. Right up to the point of when Liandrin described the taint on Sidene and the madness that men get from it as something to be burned away, and you have to kill the men and get rid of the men, and not as something to heal or fix. That was when she lost Nynaeve. But like right up to that point, I was like, man, I don't know which way she's gonna go. Like Liandrin may entice her to the Red Aja. Like I don't know which way they're gonna make her go. Like, you know, I was like 80-20, which is like huge for Nynaeve, especially knowing book Nynaeve's storyline. So like similarly to what you're saying on how they're approaching the, you know, is Alviarin just a like lip service, or is there more to it? I think that's the fact that you're asking that question is exciting. Like you don't know. Isn't that fun? Like that's the thing that I like.
I also think some of the biggest twists in the books, like some of the things that they're most fun for us to find out, you could easily switch those and make it so that we still don't know, and it still shocks us just as much. You know, some of them, it could very easily be changed. Yeah, and it's like that could be really fun.
That's fair.
One of the ways I like to describe the books is, and I kind of touched on it earlier when I was talking about perspectives, right? We all interpret these passages differently. I like to look at it as, you know, continuing the relationship between Rand and Egwene, right? There was an interview with Rafe early on where he was talking about he really loved the relationship between Rand and Egwene, and his interpretation of that was it was a good relationship, just not for this lifetime, and maybe they have to try again in the next lifetime. Yeah. And you know, and that was just kind of their thing, and I was kind of like, what books did you read, man? Because that was, and my interpretation of Rand and Egwene was so different, and it gives me a chance to see Wheel of Time from the perspective of Rafe Judkins and the different writers who come in and have their own perspectives and flavors that they want to give to this beautiful story. And again, some of them hit, and some of them do not. But I love because sorry if this is too much self-promotion, but we're doing the reread, right?
All the promotion.
Reread.
Yeah.
And next month is April is going to be Crossroads of Twilight. So we have the month of April to read Crossroads of Twilight. Crossroads of Twilight is easily my least favorite book, which is jarring because Winter's Heart is my favorite book.
A link to all of the Black Tower stuff can be found in chat right now. So make sure,
sweetheart, you
always. That's the point of this. That is why I like to have a different guest each week. Is try to spread all of the love around as much as possible.
Love you.
Yes, and yes, I will spread my love around with you whenever you want.
Thank you. But again, it's not. I'm not going to be like, well, Crossroads of Twilight is bullshit. The story sucks.
Yeah, go ahead and cut that book out and watch the rest of the series. Makes sense.
I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna get those bits that I love so much. It's like a nice. All 14 books. I'm gonna lean into the ice cream metaphor here. It's like an ice cream sundae, and maybe you don't like pecans on your banana split. Maybe you're more of a cherries and caramel kind of a person. But guess what? You're still gonna eat the split. You're not gonna like throw it away because someone accidentally put pecans on there. So just chill, eat your damn pecans, and let other people love pecans.
See, Iris Bear, I'm with you. And I think it's because that book provides a little bit of a breath. Like there's some breathing room in that book. And I think that's why it's always been one of my favorites. But like I think it does matter when I came to the series in my life. Like that's my perspective on the books versus, and it's changed over time.
Well, and I'm actually really excited to read it because it has been a few years since I read it. I've been through some shit in the past couple of years. So I'm actually really interested to see how my interpretation of these books change. Because that's one of the other things is the rereadability of these books. They mean different things to you at different points in your life. And I love it.
Yeah. I remember reading through the first time, and a lot of like Moraine bothered me a lot. I felt like she should have just tell them what you're doing. What's right? Like what?
I'm your next.
I could definitely see that frustration. I definitely can see that.
Yeah, and then some of the female relationships. It's like, gosh, they're so mean to each other. Why are they so mean to each other? And then I go and go out into the workforce, and I come back. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my lunchroom. Yeah, that's the break room at my office. That sounds just like it. And it's like, oh, those make more sense. And then I'm reading and I'm like, oh my gosh, you stupid kids, just listen to Moraine. Why can't you just listen? And it's just funny that, where, like you said, where you are in life when you read it makes a big difference on how you read it. So
I 100% agree with that. I honestly, Moraine has always been one of my favorites. One of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character, mainly because like when I was first reading the series, I was like learning like my teacher, which was just excited that I was reading anything, like used it as a way to like teach me storytelling and stuff like that. So she explained the idea of the hero's journey to me.
Yeah.
While I was reading that, and then was like, here's all these other properties that Star Wars and the Lord of the Rings and da-da-da. And here's like the person who fulfills the role of the teacher, like, Merlin from Arthurian legend, and Gandalf, and in, Harry Potter, it would be Dumbledore. And in Star Wars, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi for Luke Skywalker. Here it's a female character. And that's a huge dynamical, like just like a huge change to the story process, especially for the time that he wrote the book, which was the late 80s. Like he wrote the book in like 87. It got published in like 89, I think, but he was pitching it for like a year prior to it getting picked up. So it's a big swing for that time, especially. And I thought that was like a really cool thing, and it kind of attracted me to Maureen's character early on.
You almost have Robert Jordan flipping the coin, right? Flipping the script. Not only is our wise mentor character a woman, but also the most powerful organization in the world is comprised entirely of women.
Yep.
It's a fun dynamic. It's a fun dynamic to play with.
Absolutely. I just love it. Anyway, so what are you guys up to next? Like, what's your next? I know you guys stream every Tuesday, or you record on Tuesdays.
We record on Tuesdays.
I always forget that you record, because I usually hang out with you guys when you're recording, and I forget that you're recording.
So we record on Tuesdays, and that is streamed live for Patreons. And then we publish on Friday, which gives patrons that early access. So if you can't make it to the stream, you get early access to the episode. Okay. Then we release on Fridays, and then during the season, Reese, you go ahead and tell them about our Sunday activities.
So on Sunday, we like to get a whole bunch of nerds together and pretend we know about sports, but only in so far as it relates to the Wheel of Time. And that is just kind of, fantasy league. That's all. And so we watch the episodes, and we all have picked teams of characters from the show that we sorry, there's some noise here.
Life happens, whether you make it or not.
That's true. We all have picked characters from the show, and there are different, things that will earn points and lose points. And we have some amazing commissioners that do, a wonderful job watching the episodes thousands of times to keep track of all of these points for us, while we show up on Sunday and just smack talk everything. So.
Well, the smack talking is half the fun.
It's true.
I think our commissioner has added like half a head of gray hairs because we argue a lot.
That's fun.
They'll be like, that was flirting. No, it wasn't. and that's part of the fun, right? Some of the categories are subjective for that reason.
Yeah, and then simply so that you guys can argue it out, because that's fun.
Can argue and talk.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're really, really excited because I'm pretty sure Amazon did this on purpose.
It's Beth Doman.
Beth Doman in the house tonight. She gonna make everything feel right. We're really excited because the season finale plays right before JordanCon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are going to be announcing the winner of Season 3 Fantasy League live at JordanCon. Guys, there is a giant championship WWF style belt. That's amazing. Ginormous, nice. Huge. It's awesome. And we're going to be passing that to, currently team, Maury's Dark Hounds currently hold the championship belt. Okay. And they're going to either retain it if they win or pass it on to someone else.
I love that. That's fantastic. I hope you guys are going to stream that. You said, right? Good. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. I get to still partake. That's exciting.
Ooh,
Maury's Dark Hounds currly has it.
I believe Silvertooth specifically has it.
Okay. So you mentioned Patreon before, and something that I've been talking about here for a long time is that we're going to be relaunching our Patreon, and we've talked about it a lot, and we haven't given a hard date, and I can give a hard date right now. It's tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah. That's literally when we get off this stream, I'm going to be updating the Patreon page and sending out all the notifications and the emails. Yay. You'll have our new and improved Patreon launched by midnight tonight, ready to go for April. And, for Kathy to talk about it, Kathy and Crystal to talk about it, JordanCon and all that stuff. But as a little tidbit that I want to share with everybody is something that we are 100% doing for when we launch is one of the things is a Matho reward.
Yes.
Which is the lovely Marie Simmons has agreed to answer questions that we submit to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I already have a backlog of questions that she's going to be answering and that I've been soliciting from people and from DM staff. Not that they're not people, but you know what I mean.
Wow.
Wow.
And, I mean, some of us aren't. Let's just be honest. And I'll be sharing Maria's answers both in the Patreon to the Patreon subscribers first, and then once a month I'll share some of her past answers on our streams that we have here for questions.
I feel like this was really brave of her. She knows us very well. What was she thinking?
Yeah. Now, there's some disclaimer with that, which is basically this is one Wheel of Time super fans' opinions on subjects and not canonical changes to anything. Yeah. And we, Dragonmount, reserve the right to reformat any of the questions people submit so that they're not like, first of all, maybe we've answered this before in the way that you asked it and we can change it. And we'll obviously let people know when we do that and when we're going to get an answer to your question. So that'll be one of the things that we do.
I love
one of the other things is something that I really enjoy doing, and a lot of us neuro-spicy people enjoy doing, specifically in the Wheel of Time community too, is playing survival craft video games. And we're going to be hosting Wheel of Time community servers for some games. Ooh. When we first start off, we're going to be hosting servers for the game Valheim, Enshrouded, 7 Days to Die, and Minecraft. Sorry. Wow. I can't believe I forgot Minecraft. The 1,200 hours that I have played on Minecraft would beg to differ that I've ever forgotten about it. But yeah, so those are going to be the games that we're going to be sharing off in the beginning, and then a ton of other stuff. There's going to be technically 5 tiers in total, with a free tier that gets access to the video game servers is one thing, but many other things, and then 4 other tiers as well. So watch for tomorrow. Sorry, Winter's Lady. Yeah, Mafo, Maria, and Find Out. In the same heart of Raffo, Read and Find Out, and Wafo, Watch and Find Out, there's also Mafo, Maria, and Find Out.
That's correct.
And I will forget that not everyone knows that.
Well, and I will say this too. Noman Garden posted he got to Mafo a question at the Gathering Madness.
Ooh.
But she didn't have an answer. Noman Garden stumped Maria. And I will say this as well. If Maria says, I'm willing to do some Mafo, 2 things. 1, she knows exactly what she's doing with that. She is one smart woman. And 2, she's ready for you. I promise you. Maria is ready for you.
I'm excited.
She's an absolute delight. I love her so much.
Oh, she's one of my favorite people. She's also technically my mother-in-law. Not really. So one of the things that we do a lot at JordanCon is a first sister ceremony. In fact, in chat right now is one of my other daughters. I am their mother, as I stood in for one of their mothers for one of her first sister ceremonies at last year's WatCon, which was amazing, and I'm very honored to have been a part of that. But at JordanCon, I don't even know how many years ago now, my wife Erin and our dear friend Jenna became first sisters, and Maria stood in as their new mother.
Oh, okay.
So Maria always greets Erin as daughter, and says, like, she even posts to her on Facebook on like International Daughters Day and things like that.
Oh,
that's fun.
I love that.
Yeah, so she's kind of my mother-in-law, but not really.
No, she is.
Kind of, yeah.
Here we go. Noman Garden stumped her, asked if there was anything that fleshed out the connection with the Amayar and the Daishain Ale. Okay, that's interesting. She probably was like, I don't know, I'd have to check the notes for that. Like, 'cause that's like a crunchy question. That's definitely a crunchy question.
That's stumping. Okay.
Yeah. The answer, Glenn, was
not being so damn humble.
Yeah. Well, the answer was Robert Jordan and Find Out, which sadly is kind of hard to do now.
Yeah.
Our Jaffo.
So we have 2 other things that we do at the end of our episodes here, which is one, a really fun interview with our guests. Is a fun way to kind of throw the information, our attention back to our guests at the end of the end, at the end of the episode. But the other thing is sharing who our guest is going to be next week. So next week, we are going to have the lovely Bill Bridges,
Yay!
and again returning Nikhil Kopalkar. So Bill Bridges is. You may not recognize his name, but you probably know some of the things that he's responsible for. If you've ever heard of the World of Darkness fantasy setting, so you might not recognize that name, but I'm sure you've heard of Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
He is part of the team that created Vampire the Masquerade, both the video game and the TTRPG setting, and by extension, Werewolf, Apocalypse Werewolf, and the Reckoners. And he is the creator of the Fading Suns RPG setting and subsequent video games. He's a fantastic person. Also a huge fan of the Wheel of Time. Great author. He has his own series out and his own books out, and he's a good friend and a ton of fun. So I can't wait to talk to him. But also returning is Nikhil Kopalkar, who is a composer from season 2 and season 3 of the Wheel of Time, particularly for a song that he helped that he wrote, as in he composed, and Rami Park, writer on season 2 and season 3, composed the lyrics of, and that is The Hills of Tanchico, which if you haven't heard yet, please go to Spotify and look up. It's freaking fantastic. I won't tell you guys the situation that it's done in the episode, but we will see it in the next episode, and that is why he is returning, because he really wants to talk about it. And let me know if you know what the Hills of Tanchico are in chat. I want to know if everyone in chat picked up what they are. Anyway, okay. So with no more,
thought it was a metaphor for LA.
Okay, good guess. Reese.
What I think it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I think probably something I'd like to stick a marriage knife between.
It's a good guess.
Thank you.
Good guess. I thought you were going to go with a different thing and putting something else in between.
A marriage knife.
Yeah, or my face. But I do like the marriage knife. That was a good reference. Anyway, let's look at my little graphic that I have here. Hold on. Oh wait, there's no sound. Damn it! Look at that! It's super exclusive. Oh my God! There's a song now.
Dragonmount Studio with Black Tower Podcast.
Perfect. I'm not changing that. That's staying. When I clip this, that is staying. I'm not changing that. I forgot to put the sound to the thing. Like, that's happening. That's staying in there. I love it. This is why, because live is fun. That's why. That's why this is fun. All right. Anyway, welcome, my friends, to Inside the Dragonmount Studio. We here at Dragonmount, if you've watched a lot of our, not even just the Inside the Dragonmount Studios interviews, many of our other interviews, we start out with hard-hitting questions like this, and we're going to jump right into it. So, what is your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur?
Yeah.
Ducky.
Oh my God, that's such a good answer.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh my God, yep. Mm-hmm. And then you can't help but think about Petrie. You leave without Petrie.
If you guys have not watched that recently, it does hold up.
Yeah, that's for those who don't know what the hell we're talking about. The Land Before Time, old movie.
You know what?
I
used to say it will make you cry. It will break your heart. But I have started playing traumatizing movies for my children, and they don't care. Nope. They didn't care about our texts. I was like, "Are you guys traumatized?" They were like, "I mean."
The one for me was The Good Dinosaur. There is so much tragedy in that movie, and my 3.5-year-old just like, this is great. Look at the fun little kid. No, they tried to off that dinosaur like 10 times.
Yeah, mom's just taking a nap while we move. That's all.
Speaking of horrible tragedy, if you want to cry, and I mean really cry, Google Ducky and the voice actor. No. And I mean that. It's pretty horrible. But anyway, do that after the show.
Yeah, not right now.
What about yours? Josh?
My favorite has always been the Ankylosaurus, and I love it because I was always like, bro's got the perfect balance of defense and attack. He's like, I got a hard shell turtleback right now you can't get through, but guess what else I got? I got a tail with a damn sledgehammer on it. And he's got spikes on the side of his head too. He's like, I'm a little devil Ankylosaurus. He's badass, dude. That guy knows.
I like it.
All right. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word is hemoglobin.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. I do. It is fun to say.
It's really fun to say.
It really is.
Taint.
This is not shocking.
All versions of the word.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And
which one? Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Fun story. When I made ribbons for JordanCon for the first time, I tasted the taint at JordanCon, right?
Mm.
The company emailed me back and they were like, hey, can we talk to you about these ribbons? And I had to explain to them, okay, look, it's a book series.
Yep.
This is specifically for hot sauce. You know, this is how the series works. And the guy was like, oh, that sounds really cool, actually. I'm going to have to read this book. Yes, you are, sir.
Yes.
Now give me my ribbon.
I love, like, it's another way that to recruit people to our cult. Book club.
To get a ribbon.
One of us.
All right. Do you all have a least favorite word?
A least favorite word.
I do have a least favorite.
Ooh.
I hate this word.
What is it?
Rural.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to say.
That word sucks.
Yeah.
Rural. You suck. You're the worst word ever.
Yeah. If you enunciate all of the letters and syllables in that word, it's hard to say without sounding drunk.
I like it.
That, you know what's another one that's like that? Judicial. Judicial.
We always used to kind of poke fun at my mom, although, you know, I really have no room to talk, at the way she would pronounce. Oh, here we go. Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce?
Yep.
I call it, see, that's funny that you said that, Josh. I call it, who's your sister sauce? Just another dynamic, another layer of challenge there. I love it.
Perfect. Yeah. Wash your sister sauce. You know what? I know people that have so many. It was the best of shires. It was the worst of shires. And there are so many different ways to say that word. And I just started with the one that makes the most anger in people. And that's wash your sister sauce.
So you're talking to the guy that always says GIF. So no worries.
Yes. You're my kind of guy.
All right. Do you guys have a favorite? You can answer this. You can answer both versions of this if you want. Do you have a favorite curse word and or a favorite fantasy or science fiction replacement curse word?
I will say that I do catch myself going storms sometimes.
Okay.
Just like naturally, you know, without trying. I'm just like, ah.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
I will say this, when it comes to a favorite curse word, I'm very much of the, you know, the magical thing, you know, right? Where it doesn't really matter what the word is. What matters is the intent. Mm-hmm. And my dad was always like, sugar. And I'm like, Dad, you're still swearing. Like, stop. Right? Love my dad to death. He's great.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad. But that's one of the reasons why I love the Wheel of Time swears. Oh, mother's milk in a cup.
Yeah.
Blood and ashes. I love it so much. It's so much fun because the word is unimportant. The word has only the power we give it. And that's venom. All words.
My favorite one from the Wheel of Time isn't a specific curse word, but it's when Lanfear refers to Elena as a pale-haired milksop.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, the insults are really great in the Wheel of Time, what they call one another.
Nah.
Do you have an everyday sound that you love?
Everyday sound.
Okay. I don't know if this counts or not. So if it doesn't count, let me know. But
of course it counts. If it's coming from you and it's something that you hear and it's something that you like, then it counts.
When I listen to music, there's two things that I love. And one is the breath of the singer. Okay. Which is a weird thing, right? But when the singer is singing, especially when you've got a really breathy vocalizer, I love the sound of them just singing, and they've got this really beautiful tone. And then you hear the little, Hosier does this, and it just melts me. And the other thing with that is the fingering on like a guitar.
Giggity. Sorry.
When they're fingering the guitar,
Giggity.
and you hear the strings play against the tips of the fingers as they move across the frets, and just there's something about that sound that just scratches my brain in the right way, and I love it.
Okay.
All right.
By the way, my middle name is Guitar, just so you know.
I'm going to take this the total opposite way. I'm going to say I really like super thin book pages when they flip, like Bible thinness pages, like just flipping them and that sound that it makes. Like I was the one that would get yelled at and not yelled at, but in grade school, they'd be like, please stop ruining your books. Cause I would just like flip the corners with that sound. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to get, that was definitely one of my, like twitches. Like if I was holding a book, I would constantly flip the pages like that. Yeah, 100%. And then is there a sound or an everyday sound that you guys don't like?
Well, I have a kind of a funny one, being in Florida, there's typically ceiling fans running.
Yeah.
And so you can always tell when a bearing's out in the ceiling fan because all of a sudden there's that. So last summer, one of the ceiling fans went out and somebody goes, do you hear that? Someone else goes, no, I don't hear that. And I hear something. I swear. I'm like, this is how a horror movie starts, guys. It's the ceiling fan.
My same though, but it's not a specific sound. It's any noise that you don't hear until someone points it out, and then you can't not hear it.
Yep.
The buzzing of fluorescent light, be damned.
They're so loud.
Yes.
Go away.
So loud.
There's a printer that we moved buildings, thank the light, but there was a printer that would spin up. It would like go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then it would, I don't know, I had like a tone, a click and a tone, and we just,
yeah.
And it was just like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right on the other side of the wall.
It's like when the ribbons would spin up in the printer getting ready to get hot to get ready to print. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of the questions we're going to ask you are going to pertain to fiction. It can be books, movies, video games, anything. These first two are specifically about the Wheel of Time television show. Cannot be the books, but from the Wheel of Time television show. Who do you think would make the very best roommate and why?
Ooh. Who would make the best roommate?
And it could be completely subjective. Like this doesn't have to be a generalization. It could be, you could tailor it specifically to you. That's what I mean. That's the idea here.
And this is specific TV show, yes?
TV show, yeah. Yeah, because I figured we would change these to be like specific for the show that we're watching at the time. Yeah. We happen to be watching the Wheel of Time TV show right now, so.
I'm gonna say Matt. I'm gonna go with Matt because first and foremost, he's a flirt. So it's always going to be a party. There's never going to be a dull moment there. And we've gotten to see 2 of his rooms thus far, and both of them are clean.
That's true.
Okay.
That's cleanliness is a big one. Being a person that I can identify with and have fun with is nice. Being a person who's clean, even better.
Let's see. I think.
Ooh.
See, I kind of.
Sorry, hold on. That's an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever heard a Braille printer, but that's interesting. I want to look that up. Making a note of. I'm saving that comment because I want to look that up.
Interesting. Okay, let's see. Who would I room with? I mean, I feel like I'm gonna go with the easy answer and say Elaine. Because I want some of that toilet wine.
Like she can make the booze.
And
okay, so the other thing that I feel like would be just like a you would get by proxy for anyone who watched Gilmore Girls.
Yes,
fantastic series. I love that series. Anyway, when the main character goes to college, I feel like it's a similar situation that would have been with Helene. She has a rich mother.
Oh yeah,
Elaine in the show, she has a rich grandmother, and she would just come home from class sometimes and have brand new furniture and like all kinds of crazy, like the fridge would be fully stocked with food, and like it would just, and because her grandmother's rich and she would just pay people to go do it. So like I feel like that's the same thing that would happen with Elaine too.
Yeah, and also I'm like a heavy introvert, and she just like knows everything and knows everyone, and would just like I could just follow her around and nobody would even see me there. It'd be great.
Oh, stop. She also
looking at Elaine.
Well,
I went it that way.
Okay, fair. She's also, I feel like, a good enough friend to be like, not to know when would be a good time to like push you to like go out, and also know when to not do that.
Yeah, she seems like a good wing friend.
Yeah, definitely. I love doing that at JordanCon. When I see people that I don't know at JordanCon, like that looks like it might be like their first year or something, I don't recognize them, and it looks like they're like off on the wall by themselves. I literally, because I don't read that well, so I literally would just walk up to them and be like, listen, I don't know if you've seen me walking around this weekend. I'm a big extrovert at this thing. I see that you're sitting over here. Do you want help extroverting, or are you content sitting over here introverting? Mm-hmm. And every single time I've asked that so far, except once, the person is like, I want help. One time someone was like, no, I think I'm good. I'm like, all right, good. Then you keep having fun. And I walked away. It was at the dance party, and they were just sitting at a table by themselves, and like no one was talking to them. They weren't talking to anybody, but they were like, no, I'm having a great time. I was like, all right, fine. You continue having a great time then.
That's one of the things I do love about specifically JordanCon. I've often giggled and called it the convention for introverts, where I will always encourage someone to go to JordanCon, right? If you're an introvert and you don't like crowds and blah 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 blah, go to JordanCon. Just go. You will love it. You will have a great time. I don't say that about every convention. There's FanX, which is Comic-Con here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And I'll tell people it's fun. How are you with crowds? And if they say I don't do well with crowds, I say then don't go.
Yep.
It's not the vibe, right? But
it's not even just crowds too. It's the dynamic.
It's the energy. It's the atmosphere. And JordanCon, when someone says, "Oh my God, I'm going to JordanCon for the first time and I'm excited," and everybody says, "Welcome home," and there's a reason for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know why? You know why that it is the way it is? Because everyone there is a reader.
Yes.
I've been to every JordanCon except for this year. This is gonna be my first one. It's weird not going, I will say. But anyway, it is obviously a Wheel of Time convention, but it's more of a fantasy and science fiction literature convention that is themed for the Wheel of Time. And I've been to a lot of Southern fantasy conventions. JordanCon in particular, the thing that really makes it stand out from the others, and this is especially from like a professional standpoint, in that like I used to, for 13 years, I was the director of guest services, which are the professionals that attend JordanCon. And overwhelmingly from all of the professionals, which are either 90% of them are artists or authors were that JordanCon is a heavy reader convention.
Mm-hmm.
So like authors, indie and otherwise, at all levels would do very well at JordanCon because of the heavy because of the overwhelmingly majority portion of the attendees are heavy readers. And I feel like that lends to the dynamic of what you're talking about, Josh. Yeah. Especially readers who are primarily large fans of the Wheel of Time. Since not to say that there is no toxic side of the Wheel of Time fandom. There is. We saw some earlier a little bit. It wasn't that bad, but like, you know what it is. The book cloaks. But by and large, it's better than most fandoms, I would say. Yep. Anyway, enough of a
tangent. I will say that as an introvert, I found JordanCon to be very welcoming. You know, the first one, I didn't know many people, and so it was a little rough, but by, you know, I think it was day 3, I was actually pretty comfortable. You know, you were comfortable, you were talking to people, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is like, I didn't think it would be like this. And there's plenty of places to get away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can walk outside, you can go up to your room, you can get that space. Like, there's lots of places that you can like get away for a minute. And so it's a really nice for introverts.
I forgot. Aaron is 100% right. Multiverse is very much also like that. If you're in like, not a lot of people can just at the drop of a hat travel to Georgia, to Atlanta, Georgia. But if you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area or have the capability of going there, Multiverse Con, if you just Google Multiverse Con, is, if you like everything that we're saying about JordanCon right now is also true for Multiverse and the vibes and everything. It is a fantastically run convention and very similar vibes. Also, if you've been to JordanCon and you go to Multiverse, you will recognize 70% of the people there, which is, you know, which is pretty telling. Obviously, the vibes will carry over as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? We were at the best roommates.
We did best roommates.
Yeah, we had Matt from Yashua. Did you give us one, Reese?
Yeah, Elaine,
right. And that's kind of where we went off on our tangent there. It was on Elaine. Right. Okay. So then, now returning, who from the Wheel of Time television show would make the worst roommate?
Galad and Gawain.
Because they come
yeah, especially together.
Oh my god, that was such a great scene. And he's like, Galad and Gawain. Like, I love it. That was so great.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah. A worst roommate. You know, that's a really great answer there. But I'm gonna say Swan Sanche. Because not only is she like real controlling, but also if you're like, hey, look, I thought it would be nice to have this luxurious item in the room, and she'd be like,
nope,
get that out of here.
Yeah, I'm
a humble fisher woman from the rivers of Tyr. Get that luxury out of here. I don't know.
Put it in the trash.
Unnecessary conflict. You're river trash. Oh,
if you're a maximalist, don't live with Swan Sanche.
Yeah,
I want to change my answer for my favorite noise. Shora Gashalu's voice. Is my favorite.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I want her to read me bedtime stories every night.
Shameless plug. I got to interview her as well, and that interview is up on the Dragonmount YouTube. You should go check that out. It was a lot of fun. Anyway.
Okay, so Tom, I feel like we have to reword this question because I feel like anybody who is on this show, like the answer is going to be yes. But it says, can you ever remember having a crush on a fictional character from any realm of fiction, and who was it? And do you have one now? I feel like yes, we all have.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I want to know who was your first fictional crush, and do you have one now?
That's
My first fictional crush. I was actually asked this question not too long ago, so I was able to ponder over it for a very long time then.
Nice.
And don't have to now. It was Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Good one.
Sailor Moon was one of my first cartoons too. I loved Sailor Moon, man.
My first crush, I remember vividly. I was but a young lad in elementary school, so don't judge me when I say this. But the childlike empress from the Neverending Story, played by Tammy Stronach, was my first childhood. The way I melted and my face lit up every time she was on screen. And I know Tammy watches Dragonmount, so
of course, obviously. Me too, Roof Mistress. I grew up on a beach town. My whole mother's side of the family were fishermen and hunters. I grew up in the water, and then I worked on the water for like 20 years. So I miss it. I actually love that smell of low tide. A lot of people hate that smell.
Yeah,
I love that smell. When I smell that, I'm like, home. Sorry. Anyway. So the next one is, and this is now like, again, any realm of fiction or stuff. It doesn't have to be well-timed, could be anything. If you were given the opportunity to assume a vocation or a job or align with a specific group or something like that from any form of fiction or fantasy, science fiction or fantasy, what would it be?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. There's so many possibilities.
I could travel to any sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, and join a corps and or guild and or.
Did you have anything pop in your mind like quickly?
Jedi.
For me, yeah, mine was Heroes Guild from Fable.
Oh shit, that's a good answer.
Good one. Yeah, look,
good answer. I love that game. Such a good game.
I've got a Star Wars.
Pushback.
Shoot.
So I would definitely I want a lightsaber. Okay, I want a lightsaber.
Just say it. It's okay.
4 powers.
Listen, I feel like if you grew up liking the Star Wars at all in the time when Star Wars was coming out new, like when we were kids, and then even further back, and you don't at some point in your life always just go just to check. I do. I 1000%. It's often in traffic. It's often when I'm in traffic, and it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I'm not throwing cars out of. Sometimes I am.
You're a better person than I am. It's always throwing the cars.
Sometimes I do. Often though,
Helping the other driver.
And Aaron can attest to this because I mention it all the time. I just want to shake the car a little bit, just a little, just to see the people's reactions. That's all. That's really all it is. So I'm just gonna go. Just a little bit.
Love it.
Anyway,
I love it.
So
I sometimes imagine the flame in the void. I'm looking for Sidene, man. I'm looking for Sidene.
One day. I mean, like we are a turning of the wheel.
We are in the first age right now. The end of this age will be the discovery of channeling. So, can we get on that, people?
Yeah. Let's go.
I mean, it's starting to feel a little bit like the end of time, so could be getting close.
Channeling. Let's go.
All right. So, who or what do you think is the worst job, or who has the worst job in fiction, or something that you would absolutely not want to do? Hold on. Yes.
Yes.
That was the only car that I ever wanted as a child, and I had no idea about driving cars. I wanted my own kit car. Oh, yeah. Love that show.
Very true.
The worst job is easily the Martian miners in Red Rising. That would be the worst job.
Okay.
Ever. If you've never read Red Rising, it is a whole
Pierce Brown, right?
It's a social cast of people, and these people basically are subterranean on Mars, living with the reality that they need to mine a certain mineral in order to terraform Mars for people to come and colonize Mars. And turns out that's a lie. There are already people living, there's advanced society and
spoiler
New York City style cities and advanced technologies just hanging out on Mars. And these people are just slaving away for a lie. And it's a heartbreaking series, but it's a great series.
Yeah.
So yeah, the miners in Red Rising, that would be the worst job ever.
That book actually came back into like the media ethos sphere again recently, because the new Transformers cartoon movie that came out is heavily based on it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's actually a decent movie. The cartoon version of the Transformers, it came out recently.
Yeah,
when Megatron and Optimus Prime, it's like back on. Yeah.
Bro.
It's a pretty good movie, actually. I would definitely say check it out if you enjoy, animated movies and Transformers. It's fun. Transformers 1, that's what it is. Thanks, Noman Garden.
Worst job. I'm having trouble with this one. The worst job.
Or just something you would never want to do.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like to be a chef in one of these magic schools or academies or something, just like having to cook like that much food all day long and then clean it up unless people got in trouble.
Yeah.
That seems pretty awful.
And especially like, and the thing that fucks me up, sorry to be cursing again, but like the thing that messes me up, especially with like the Wheel of Time with that, is they make these people cook and clean. Like even the staff, they don't allow people to help them with the one power. Like you could be saving these people's backs and bodies by helping them with the one power, and you can do the things that they're doing in seconds to help them and make them not have to do this. But now make them do it.
No, build your character. Why not?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Okay, this is the deepest question that we have. Is there a specific portrayal of the afterlife from any realm of fiction? Could be a show, a book, movie, video game, mythology, whatever you want, that you find appealing and intriguing enough that you want it to be true when it's your time?
That is a good one. I'll just say it. I know it's been sort of like sensationalized, but I do really much love the Nordic traditions, the Asatru sort of traditions there. I love that. I love that my life, that I'm accountable for my life. I'm accountable for my deeds. And my sorting in the afterlife falls very much on my shoulders and my ability to be useful to the gods for the challenges that they face later on down the road. I love that. I think that's amazing. I think that's a really great sort of story of self-accountability. And I'm a big fan of that.
I think you'd make a great Einenjar.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go with a little bit more of a sci-fi approach, not necessarily per se an actual movie, but like the Matrix style, like your consciousness goes to a different plane. Like death in this Matrix is not like heaven or the end, like it's just a different plane or a different consciousness uploaded somewhere else.
Another step.
That would be cool. Okay.
I love that. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your lovely answers. That was a ton of fun. We will 100% be clipping these and putting them on the Dragonmount YouTube for everyone to watch later.
Especially poor Josh having to sing his own intro.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was so wonderful. That's not getting changed.
Yeah.
That's not getting changed.
You guys
That's
know
100%
how much
fun.
I hate singing in public.
Terrible for him.
God. Man, that was that's my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite memory from all of the walk-ons because I really did enjoy being a mom again. But at the first walk-on, I was there for like less than 24 hours before I found out that I had COVID and had to leave. But I had so much fun the Thursday night before when we were hanging out singing Irish drinking songs.
Yes!
At 2 o'clock in the morning in the freaking lobby.
It was good.
After we had to deal with baseball people, if you know, you know. That was an interesting evening.
I think it ended well, though. I mean, we made friends with a lot of them.
Yeah.
We were able to celebrate a little bit. I think we introduced the books to some of them.
Definitely.
There was a lot of fun. You know, it did. It started off with some friction, but I think overall, you know, like I said, when we got past some of the barriers that divide us and looked and said, hey, we like playing games, we like having fun together, it turned out to be a really good thing. And as a matter of fact, a lot of them showed up the next day to cheer on pinnings that the blacktower.net
Yes, they did.
And they showed up to just cheer some people on. It was a lot of fun. I think we made some good friends that day or that weekend. It was good. It was overall good.
Yay. I like that. The Black Tower pinning ceremony is a ton of fun, and I only got to see the pictures that year. I still haven't done my pinning ceremony, and it's because it's because like I was a member at the Black Tower .net before like it was a thing. So like they had made like a bunch of us Ashaman prior to like inventing a ceremony for it, like obviously not inventing, but doing the ceremony, like making that part of the thing, and. We just never went back and did it. I should probably do it at some point. See if Bill wants to do it for us. But yeah, it's another great fantasy community that you guys should check out. Blacktower.net. Great group of guys.
Not to be confused with Black Tower Podcast. It is two different groups.
100%. Bill,
they're good guys. I'm not. That's not me like throwing shade or anything like that. That's just saying not. There is a difference.
Yes, because we want to send the people to both places. We want to send people to the blacktowerpod.com, which I've shared again in chat in a second.
You're awesome.
And also is in the description of this video and on the Dragonmount website in like the people that we support. So don't worry about that. It's everywhere. And also blacktower.net is the other one that we were talking about. So great group of people on both ends. Giggity. I want to remind everybody today is Transgender Day of Visibility. So just bring that back up again. If you go over to the Dragonmount socials, we made a post about it. I'm posting again in chat the Trevor Project, which is a great lifeline to use for any issues that someone may have in your life, or you yourself, if you're transgender, if you're dealing with that. There's a great resource there to reach out to. And also remind everyone that next week we'll be hanging out with Nikhil Kopalkar, composer from season 1 and season 2 and 3 of the Wheel of Time TV show, and author and game designer, both tabletop and video game designer, Bill Bridges, who worked with and for and helped create White Wolf, which is the company behind Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf Apocalypse, The Reckoning, Empires of the Fading Suns, and a bunch of video games too he worked on, which is really cool. I'm excited to hang out with him and watch episode 6. Yay. Anyway, thank you all of you awesome nerds. We love you, and we'll see you guys next week. And on those who support Black Tower over on Patreon, you'll see them Tuesday and see their new episode on Friday.
Correct.
When it comes out. Okay. With that, say goodnight, Crystal.
Good night, Crystal.
Good night, Crystal.
I'm so glad you did it too.